This week's parsha really presents us with the entire economic structure in the land of Israel, in the way it's supposed to be here. It begins with the Shemitah. Every seventh year, not only are we to refrain from tilling the soil, but everything that grows is ownerless. No one is to claim ownership over it. Anyone can come and eat. And then the Torah says that if you'll ask, what are we going to eat if we don't plant and don't till the soil? And the Torah says, "V'tzivisi es birchasi," Hashem says, I will command my blessing. There'll be a bumper crop. There'll be a bumper crop. It'll feed you for 3 years. Then there's sales of land, sales of houses. Depending on the situation, there's an option to go back on the sale. The seller, depending on which city, what kind of city it is, has the option of buying it back. In the Yovel, in many of the places, everything goes back to where it came from. And then interest. You can't charge for your money. There's no money market among Jews. I mean, any economist who studies this parsha will tell you that it just cannot work. We know today, everything really depends on the price of money. If you can make more than what you pay for money, then you're in business. That's what it's all about. The Torah is clearly setting us up for a system that is totally reliant on Hashem making it work. A bumper crop before the Shemitah, the whole real estate market. It's not really a place that you can make much money in because you never know when he'll just buy it right back. Most sales are temporary anyway. And you can't charge for your money. A Jew needs money, you've got it, lend it to him for free. And the Torah tells us we'll be prosperous. we usually talk about the principle of ein somchim al hanes. You're not supposed to rely on a miracle. It seems that so much of this parsha tells us that the economy of the Jewish nation is going to live on miracles. And you know something? That's the answer. That is the answer. Yes. So, just so that it doesn't sound too terrible, let's spend a couple of minutes talking about not charging for your money. What is the alternative to that? The alternative to that is investing with people. Rather than lending them money, invest with them. You can lend them too, but don't make money off that. In this week's parsha, we have another mitzvah, which is what is called the mitzvah lahachayoso. Give him life. What is that mitzvah? That mitzvah is to help put someone in business. Whether it's a loan, even an investment. Give him the ability to support himself, which is the highest level of tzedakah, by the way. The idea of making money off your money may sound like good business. But on a human level, we know that it's disastrous. Interest builds. People just, if they're lucky, it works. If it doesn't, bankruptcy. Good. Society has created limited liability, the corporation, to get around it. It's still quite cruel. The money business is cruel. The bank can decide any day it no longer has confidence in you, and you go bankrupt. The Torah believes that we are to invest in one another. Obviously, if you're the one looking for investments, if you're the startup, you've got to win the trust of people. You got to make a good case for why you're worth investing in. Then they invest with you, and they're taking a chance. The Torah prefers that to lending money where you get it back unconditionally with interest, which again is cruel. If he's unsuccessful, where's he going to get the money to repay? That's his problem. Charging for your money is cold, cruel. Investing with someone that's believing in him, that's helping to build his independence, and taking the risk. The economy of the Jewish nation in Eretz Yisrael, certainly. Interest is an issue everywhere. But in Eretz Yisrael, certainly where the whole setup is one that depends so much on Hashem's making it work. It is built on maintaining high moral standards. It's built on people believing in one another. It's built on trust in heaven. This we do not call miracle. This is real, meaningful life. This is the way Hashem wants to see the economy of the Jewish nation. Yes, Hashem is so much part of the equation. Of course, included in the parsha is the lo sonu, not to be dishonest, not to cheat others. You want this economy to work, you got to be honest. Your own integrity has to be all the way up there. And especially in Eretz Yisrael. I want to go a little further. In next week's parsha, Hashem tells us that our security situation is totally dependent on our actions. In Eretz Yisrael, this is the land where everything is really open. Hashem doesn't hide so much. But it seems like this is the only way to survive. Face it. Our return to Eretz Yisrael not only was itself miraculous, but our survival ever since we've come back is filled with miracle. It's filled with miracle. And we're constantly reminded of it. We're surrounded by enemies, sworn enemies, who want to kill every one of us. We live within a population that includes many where we have no idea. We just have no idea whose side they're on. And they can easily switch overnight. The economy. Considering what we have to spend on defense. It is miraculous. And the standard of living compared to the average income is another miracle. I never took a survey. But from knowing people in lots of different societies here, how they manage to maintain the lifestyle they do and the standard of living is clearly miracle. This is the land Hashem made for us. But there's a certain level of demand that goes with it. That we do live a higher moral standard. That we do have Emunah. There is no logical solution to the Middle East conflict. No one has ever come up with one. All solutions are based on total ignorance in what the problems really are. Proposed solutions generally are based on an arrangement that absolutely nobody in the Middle East is interested in. There is no rational answer. Just as there is no rational explanation for our return and our success. And yes, this is one of those proofs that reassure us that Torah is authentic. Hashem made the promise. Hashem says it's going to work. And it does. You need living proof, if you need it. Living proof of the authenticity of Torah. It's the fact that the Torah is able to make such promises. Who would do that if you can easily be proven wrong? And B, they actually happen. To understand, if you're trying to make sense of what goes on here, the answer is in the parsha. And I would hope that your conclusion, therefore, is that living here does call for higher standards, that you rise to the occasion and be part of the miracle. And find why things work here, even though they don't make sense. And understand that your study of economics will not help you get a grasp on why things work here. But if you study the Torah, it will. So jump in and enjoy every minute here. And learn to live the way the Torah wants you to live. High moral standards. Being there for one another. Helping to build one another. Impeccable integrity. And trust in Creator and Sustainer of heaven and earth.